Okay, now imagine a first-person shooter. Now what do you get when you mix these together? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you... Don't get me wrong, an FPS game doesn't need to have the horror tag slapped on it for it to be scary. Just look at Payday 3. A mere glance at the Steam reviews is enough to make me cower in fear. And I'll admit, being hunted down by a scary...
Yeah, I feel so bad for Payday 3. It actually fell off so much.
...scary monster can create a seriously spooky game. But then the monster kills you, and you realize that this is just a game, and the monster is fake. So what happens when the monster you're seeing is real?
I mean, horror games with monsters are scary, though. Not because of the monster, but it's just like the... What is it? Humans are scared of two things innately. It's loud noises and heights. Innately. You can't overcome those fears. But it's like a preservation instinct, you know, like when you're a caveman. You hear loud noise, suddenly, oh, that's something bad. Need to run away. That's why I hate jump scares, man. Like, genuinely, I hate them. I've never gotten used to them. Like, I'll cover so many horror games, but I despise jump scares. I was watching this film the other night called The Gorge. It's really good. It's like an Apple TV film, but it's like, it's really good. And I could tell, like, whenever the music stopped to, like, you know, get ready for a jump scare, it was like watching a YouTuber. It was like watching a YouTuber about to do a shill for a product. I was like, skip. Thank you, Moonray, for the prime. Okay. Kino intro. I like that. I like that.
In a world where you can use video games to simulate doing drugs, peeing on things, having a blue space girlfriend...
Wait, you had peeing on things and you didn't show Postal 2? Come on, man.
And killing people, the game Ready or Not was made so that you can simulate being a cop. So you can still kill people at least, but only if you yell at them first. They also need to have, like, a weapon or whatever, and also need to, like, pose it.
I like how in Ready or Not, you get, like, 50 XP. Well, 50 points to your ranking if you subdue someone. And then if you kill them, you get, like, 5.
A threat or whatever, but who cares about that? I'm the law! And though the game may start out with killing meth heads and common criminals who shout obscenities at you...
Lovely.
Eventually, we start to see some...
Oh, we got a hype train. Nice. Can we get past level 1, maybe?
Some of the most terrifying...
Please, guys, I'm poor.
...and disturbing things ever put in a game. Of course, Ready or Not isn't the first game to attempt the whole edgy, realistic FPS shtick.
Fun. Like... Wow.
Games like Ground Branch or Escape from Tarkov hold a very similar sentiment in mind. Unforgiving, in-depth, and...
Tarkov sucks. I'm sorry. I'll die on this hill. Why the hell would you pay money to get this insane loadout of gear just to lose it to a Twitch streamer with 5 viewers camping on a mountain for 7 hours straight? I do not know how people enjoy that game.
And realistic...
Only then to realize that the game is going to get wiped in 2 weeks anyway. And you get nothing to keep afterwards.
...combat gameplay. So, what's so special about Ready or Not, then? Well, hello there. I got good news. You got the job. You now work for the Los Sueños Police Department. I also have bad news. You now work for the Los Sueños Police Department. Los Sueños is a fictional Californian city. Play as David Beaumont, nicknamed Judge. Judge is the leader of D Platoon, a SWAT team who was unfortunate enough to be placed in the most obscenely crime-filled city in the world. It's because of this that at any time we could get called to a scene.
No, he knows I'm talking about it on stream. Doxed, nice. No, I made sure to not show anything. That's the entire point.
Anytime. At any time.
Wait, yeah, there's a guy called Ramska who's a YouTuber, by the way. Sorry about that, guys. He wanted to keep it a secret.
We're getting a call.
Thank you. The first mission of Ready or Not is a masterclass in video game tutorials. The game does a great job of easing you in with...
I remember there was a little corner shop mod you could download as well. That was really good.
Without doing some schlocky hand-holding snooze fest. Thank You, Come Again is a mission where we're sent in to deal with an armed robbery at the 4U gas station. We're immediately met with a grim scene. The very first thing we see is a dead body on the ground, along with the prompt to report it. This first introduces us to a very important mechanic, reporting things. Every little detail in this game is important.
The way he says reporting things,
including the next lesson the game teaches you, breaching doors. When trying to open the front doors, you'll be met with a slew of commands. You can attempt to open the door, or you can kick it. There's the option to open both doors, or just one. The game has a variety of ways of tackling things. The door is locked.
Have you played Ready or Not? Yeah, I have. It's really good. It's really good. I tried playing the campaign. I didn't like the campaign because I don't like managing squads and stuff and giving commands. I just think it's a little bit like it's almost like coding. It's just like input command, input command. I didn't really like that. And then I tried to run in solo and you just get washed. Like if you're not like a God Sweat, like Valorant Emerald or whatever the top rank is, like you're done.
Locked? Well, lockpick it.
Wait, what's Matthew playing? Oh, you're playing Doom 3? That's cringe.
Or kick it.
I bet you got the flashlight on as well.
Go the old-fashioned American way. Or go the old-fashioned other American way. You can use a mirror gun to spy the room before...
Your trains are just a scam. I live up north, and when I travel to London, it takes me 3 hours. My cheapest was a single, and it's 50 quid. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a UK train problem. I think it's just a fancy West scam. I think I'm actually realizing that now.
Before entering. You can even command your ossifers to breach for you. Upon entering the station, we're likely met with one of the suspects. While not as violent as enemies later...
Is it BFG with the flashlight or just Doom 3? Doom 3 BFG has the flashlight built on his shoulder, so you don't need to switch, but Doom 3, you have to have it equipped. You can have it with the pistol, but you can't have it with the shotgun or anything two-handed. So it was to make more like latention. I never played Doom 3 normally, to be fair. I only played BFG with the flashlight.
Later in the game.
But I imagine, like, honestly, I think the original Doom 3, I imagine the opening levels when you've just got the pistol and the shotgun are like cinema. But I imagine, like, late game when you're fighting demons, it's just AIDS. It's probably just really, really unfun to play.
The enemies here still serve an important lesson. You are just as vulnerable as them. Commonly in games, there's this one-man army trope. Jason Brody is able to...
First Pyro stream being viewing from 2016. Congratulations, Angie, for waking up from your coma. Hope you're doing well.
Sprint, leap, and lob grenades at
Yeah, I'm going to be playing this tomorrow, by the way. I'm going to be playing Far Cry 3. I actually cannot wait.
an inhuman rate with impeccable accuracy.
The only problem is with Far Cry 3, there's an achievement for winning like 2.5k at the poker table. I don't know how poker works. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Look at this. I'm not remembering all that. I'm not... Like, you are asking... Look, like, you want me to remember all this. All this. Remember that whole sheet. Yeah, bro. Poker's really fun. Just remember all this and don't forget it. It's so... Oh, wait. He got a royal flush straight, 4 of a kind full house. But then I got the high card with the 1 card pair. Skibbity toilet. It sucks. I like blackjack because it's... what's 9 plus 10? It's so much easier. It's literally just getting to 21. Poker, I will never get poker.
Sure, he got hit in the face with a bullet.
Honestly, with play Balatro, yeah, I've been told to do that a lot. I think Keo, my manager, was telling me to play Balatro as well. I did buy it on Steam, but I haven't actually installed it yet.
But that doesn't matter. He'll just pull the metal shard out of his hand and be fine.
I've had worse. You liar! Come on, you pansy!
You got shot in the head with a 50 BMG in Call of Duty? Don't worry, you had 3 ceramic plates shoved in your vest. In Ready or Not, things don't work this way. Instead of the...
Well, the more accurate thing in Modern Warfare 2 is you never got a hit on him because he had a riot shield and he was sat in the corner the whole match.
Usual fast pace of most modern shooter games, Ready or Not slows you down to a walk, and upon trying to run, you'll discover that you in fact were running. After all, carrying a full...
Yeah, I remember, like, something that was game-breaking in Ready or Not is when you lower your weapon, which is, like, I think it's a key bind you actually have to bind yourself. You move, like, so much faster.
Set of armor, a gun, ammo, handcuffs, another gun, evidence bags, another gun, grenades, another gun. It all gets pretty heavy after a while. This proves to be a challenge.
I don't want chat to say a single fucking thing.
When getting in a gunfight, where in other games you can simply sprint or leap behind cover. In Ready or Not, you don't have the luxury of fast movement. If you're caught in the open, you're likely done for. This encourages a type of very tactical and careful gameplay. In Call of Duty, 5 enemies would take a hefty 15 seconds to kill, and that's being extremely generous. In Ready or Not, on the other hand, it takes the whole level, and while that may sound boring, it kinda is, but it also changes the...
I'll be honest, Ready or Not... The problem with Ready or Not is, like, when I play games, I really like to complete them if I like them. So I got kind of stun-locked on Ready or Not because what I would do is be like, okay, we need to detain everyone, Because if you want to get the S ranks or the A ranks, right, you can't actually play the game the way it's intended. You always have to go in with that shitty fucking beanbag shotgun that they nerf every single update. Because in the base game, it would stun lock someone straight away, and you'd be able to, like, you know, just spam it and be like, get down, get down. But now I think you can actually kill people with the beanbag, even if it isn't in the head. They nerfed it so much, and sometimes it doesn't even stun them.
Idea of boring. When playing Call of Duty, there's
Like, I know, I get it. You can use less ammo to get more flashbangs and stuff like that, but yeah.
constant action.
It sucks because that's the only gun in the game that's good at being non-lethal. Like, you get like a non-lethal assault rifle, it sucks. It sucks, bro. You're shooting Nerf foam darts at them. Maybe after 2 mags, he might like slip up on a banana peel or something.
And after a while, the constant action starts to get really dull, and eventually it becomes boring. But in Ready or Not, the occasional contact with enemies serves to keep the game suspenseful, and after learning just how
Just get good with the gas rifle. Are you doing a bit? Are you doing a bit? Are you doing a bit? Look, there's a gun in the game. You're doing a bit. There is a gun in the game that, I'm not joking you, is literally a paintball gun. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. The TAC 700. They unironically added... Oh, they removed it, did they? I wonder why. Please tell me they removed it. Please tell me it's removed. It was... Thank God they removed it. Thank God. Why did they add that in the game? They literally added a paintball gun. It's like, oh, what are you going to do? Tickle them to death? Like, awful, awful gun. You get headshots with that, and it's... The guy's like, oh, paint. And then he just one-taps you anyway. Yeah, that gun was trash.
unforgiving the game is, even the dull parts of the game become very...
It's a pepper... It fires pepper balls? No, it doesn't. It fired paint. It fired paint, and I won't take any other questions.
enjoyable, because it's a...
The pepper ball gun? Or is that a different one? This? No. This sucks. This sucks. You're silly. The R7 launcher, no, it sucks. If you can't instantly stun lock them, if you can't stun them after a single hit, it's useless. You need to be able to hit them and then make sure they're not moving and keep hitting them again. You need that initial like stun. No, it's awful. It's awful. It's trash. It's trash. I won't have anything else being said.
Constant build up to the real fun instead of spoiling all the fun by handing it to you.
Beanbag shots the head are goated. No, it kills them. You might as well just have an actual shotgun at that point. You shoot them in the head with a beanbag, they die straight away.
In one of the rooms,
or they get like concussion and you lose like 20 points.
We find something disgusting. Something that serves as a warning that this game...
Your friend got hired to make a trailer for the new Battlefield with his gameplay. Could you slip in, like, get him to slip in Marvel Rivals with that really specific Venom mod? That's a good idea.
Isn't afraid to upset people. Before every mission in Ready or Not, there's an optional mission briefing you can look at that contains all of the information we need going into an operation. It has details, images of suspects, civilians, and all sorts of data. But one important thing is the 911 calls. You can listen to all the calls that your police station received regarding the current mission.
Yeah, the pre-mission briefing was sick. I think that was a really cool addition.
And usually, they're pretty haunting.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello, my name is Charlotte Lake. I'm at a gas station and need help right now.
On this particular mission, you can observe a call from the store manager, where at the end, you can hear him being shot. It's in this room that we see the aftermath.
Where's the robbery taking place?
The foil! Gas station! No!
Even worse, we can see his phone on the floor next to him receiving an incoming call from what looks to be his wife. This phone call technique is something that Void Interactive loves
My AI art wife.
using, and something that will come back in a much more haunting way later in the game. But for now, let's focus on the manager, because this gruesome scene doesn't end there. Near him, in the other room, we can find plaques on the wall.
Yeah, all the little details in the game are like incredible though. That's one thing I love about Ready or Not.
One is a diploma from the Watt Community College, and a certificate of appreciation from the US Forest Service. Not only is this a...
Like, with a game that's so slow, you kind of have to have all these smaller details so people can look at it and be like, ooh,
dead man
I'm going to put that on the mildly interesting subreddit.
who has a wife, but he's a dead man who has a history. Void did an amazing job at giving this
I'll tell him to have a character to expand and blow up after a gas grenade gets shoved down their throat.
literally faceless man an
You disgust me.
identity. Even when
So, did someone in chat literally just say that the phone call was like a Bioshock audio log? Okay, so if someone gets like shot and killed in real life and they're calling their family, you... It's a video game reference.
most players would overlook it. In fact, they did a good job with it because most players would overlook it. They didn't shove anything in your face. There wasn't some genius storytelling mechanic that naturally introduced his humanity, because they weren't telling a story here. They were making one. It doesn't matter if you discover all this, the game will go on the same way, but you can discover it, and that I find incredible. This attention to detail is something that we'll see throughout the game, and it's what I believe Void does better than every other game studio out there. Even though it's mainly an introductory
Yeah, do you remember that one level where you go to the Epstein mansion and it's implied that there are like kids in the barrels and stuff? That was horrible.
map, this map still has a great story behind it. Outside of the gas station, we can find a DeBanco truck. It's a secure, armored truck that is used for hauling valuable things, in this case, money. Inside the store, we can find the store's safe, already open and in the process of being looted. But hold
Yeah, one thing I love about Ready or Not as well is you've got people that, even though they'll surrender... Okay, there's two baits. That's 4. There's 2 baits in Ready or Not. You get someone to surrender, they'll get down, but before you cuff them, they'll stand up. And they'll reach for something. And it could be a phone to take a picture of you, to put on their, you know, their Instagram. Like, oh, I just got a selfie. I just got a selfie with a cop. Or they pull out a gun. And it's like, I don't know how the AI works in the game, but I think it's like, I think it's mission specific, but some of the levels, people that are dressed up as civilians will still pull out a gun. I remember there's this one hospital level where like, these like guys have taken over and stuff. And a lot of the people wearing the gowns, they actually are like the terrorists and they've got guns. So you literally can't trust a single person. So you kind of get that paranoia.
Hold on. If this is a secure truck, surely it has secure...
I don't know if it's every level. I don't know if like in the corner shop level, if you've got like the worker will pull out a Glock. I don't think so. I hope not.
security, right? And surely the process of moving the money from the store to the truck is a very in-depth and precise one, right? So how did a contingency like this come about? Well, that's where Ready or Not's unique storytelling comes into play once again. On a bulletin board inside the store, we can find a flyer detailing a workers' demonstration against the company DeBanco. This implies, and stay with me here, that because a large number of DeBanco's employees were on strike, they were then understaffed, and consequently were able to be overtaken by the robbers.
Thank you for the 10,
This is further evidenced by an ATM on the map having a note on it reading "No cash out," implying that because of DeBanco's...
You bought the game, but you don't want to play solo. Yeah, solo's kind of mid. The briefing is cool, but like the main mission is like you're just pressing numbers on your keyboard to like direct people on where to go and where to. Yeah, I don't know. Some people love it, but I don't like that kind of squad management stuff. I just want to like actually play the game.
understaffment, they haven't been able...
You can do level solo, but again, it's like your chance of success is like negative 1%. Even if you go like full steel plates and you're walking around. You're literally just walking around like someone that has like maximum equip load, like over encumbered in Skyrim or something, or like Fallout 4.
able to refill ATMs across the city. But why
I was going to make another joke there. I'm very happy I didn't. I'm learning.
read into it so far? Let's just listen to a phone call in the manager's office instead.
Hi, Mudasir. I got your message about the on-site safe. I am trying my best to get that sorted out as soon as possible. I know the ATMs have been a huge problem, and you know DeBanco's been having a lot of issues as well lately.
Another interesting set piece on this mission is a dead veteran we can find in the cafe area. Near him is his dead dog, with them both apparently having been gunned down. Next to him we can find a handgun. Seemingly, he tried to fight back against the robbers, however, as we can see, the gun stovepiped and he was killed. There's also an aspect of the map that seems very out of place for a game like this.
That looks like an image someone would use as their Discord profile picture.
One of our objectives in this mission is to
I like how he said stove jammed as well. I would have literally just said the gun's jammed.
find
But I do not know that much about guns.
a young girl by the name Crystal Layton. We can find her stranded in a closet. Of course, she's safe and sound, however, it raises...
I have a question.
What? No, the game doesn't let you shoot her. It raises an interesting question. What is a child doing in a game like this?
Wait, you can't shoot her? I remember like the original build in Ready or Not, there was like a kid on the bed, and like every lobby I went into when there was a Russian person that joined the game, he just like gunned the kid down or flashbanger.
With how dark and violent the game is, it's a bold move to put children anywhere near it. But
No, I remember like in the crack house, there was a kid just like on the bed, and I think she was actually having like an episode or something.
trust me, you have no idea.
911, what is is your emergency?
My name is Michael Williams. I'm currently in apartment 14 in the San Uriel condominiums with my piece of shit brother. I'm calling you because I've killed my mother. I'm going to kill my brother. And then...
Oh no, this is the live streamer level. Oh no, I remember this one as well.
I'm going to kill myself.
Okay, sir, stay with me. I would like to...
Don't tell me what to do!
Upon arriving at the scene, we can hear muffled gunshots from within the complex. There are a handful of enemies here with guns, something that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if he makes the call saying he's gonna kill, like, everyone and then himself, why are there, like, gang members and stuff there as well? Because this is just, like, some incel streamer.
From what we heard on the call, Michael was solo on his rampage. Moving on to the second floor of the...
Yeah, the crack house has a kid having a seizure and spitting blood. Yeah, most players would beanbag shotgun her or flashbang her. Yeah. That was like every public lobby I went into.
Building, in one of the rooms, we find an insane server farm with wires sprawled everywhere and sparks flying. The wires lead outside to...
Oh, it was a Bitcoin farm and it was like people protecting it? Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
...to a power line that the server is siphoning off of. Moving into one of the rooms, we can find this lady who... Hold on. Is that Michael's mom? I thought he killed her. Forget it. Upon entering the streamer's apartment, we're met with enemy... Sorry. Anime. So much. This guy is the actual Goonmeister. Upon arresting...
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Except the fact that there's AI.
Or not arresting Michael, we can find his streaming setup, which he happens to be live on. We can see ourselves in the camera, which I think is sweet, and chat is doing their normal chat thing. Also, I just have to mention this. After the mission, you can find a piece of evidence in the station that was apparently taken from the apartment because it had sources of DNA on it. I mean, come on. Wait.
Don't say come on. Why would you say come on as soon...
On a less lighthearted note, we find something really bad in this guy's apartment. Although it's...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was like a pedo as well, right?
It's nothing surprising, given everything we know about this scumbag. We find illegal photos of minors. On his computer, we discover a Discord chat between Michael and...
Dude, the fact they made it look like Discord as well, like they did people so dirty there.
Kawaii Floof, where they discuss some not-so-great things and mention the Mindjot private server, which will be important later. Speaking of Discord, join mine, where...
What a way to promo that, man. Holy shit.
We don't talk about this sort of thing. In his brother DeMarcus's room, you can find a fursuit head, implying...
Ooh. Dude, they want it... Okay, all I'm saying is 100% void. They definitely had some renters on Twitter, and one of them was a furry, and they lost it. And they're like, no, he's a streamer, and he's a weeb, and he's a furry, and he's a pedo. Like, they wanted to hit every single checkbox to do as much damage to every single group as possible.
That his brother is a furry. Pretty innocent compared to Michael's hobbies.
Oh, it was just the brother that was a furry. Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine.
On the TV, we can find a music video for 808 Sueños, a song made by Andre Williams, who is a character that we...
My response for, just like keeping count.
He prior had arrested at the gas station.
What about his mom?
Oh yeah, huh. His mom was alive. Was. How did that happen? He clearly stated on the phone call that he killed her. Well, he didn't...
Also, that fursuit head was like a 4 out of 10. Come on, man.
Actually make the phone call. Given that he's a streamer, I think it's pretty obvious.
Been watching you since I was a teen. I'm 25 now. Jesus. I have no mouth and I must scream. Yeah, I've got that on Steam. I do want to stream that at some point. It seems to be a really good game.
Obvious what happened. Michael got swatted by one of his viewers. His loving fan base had someone who called in and made a fake 911 call. But if all of this was fake, then why did Michael shoot at us? And who were his armed assailants? Well, that's where the server farm comes into play. See, Michael, in his infinite wisdom, decided to hire armed security for his illegal server farm who, in their infinite wisdom, decided to open fire on the police, which is insane.
Commander, he's talking.
What? Where did the accent come from? Remember Andre Williams, the genius behind 808 Sueños? And the same fellow who we arrested at the gas station? Apparently, he was planning to use the money from the robbery to purchase meth from a house in 2000.
Oh, like all the levels are actually connected, like a story? I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
13 Park. This intel leads us to one of my...
Thank you, Vinny C, for the gifted.
My favorite levels in the game, Twisted Nerve. The very first thing we see upon loading in is heaps of trash bags. This is a callback to the first level,
It's a callback to Birmingham, actually, like we talked about 40 minutes prior.
where we see a newspaper detailing a trash buildup in 213 Park as a result of garbage worker strikes. In the trash, we can find more posters hating on DeBanco. This is our first mission in the night, and we finally get the opportunity to check out this game's beautiful night vision mechanics. We have the option between quad nods or binos, and also the option between green phosphor and white. I think the choice is obvious.
The white is horrendous. Yeah, the white.
Moving into the
Actually, no, that looks good. I don't remember it being blue. It was white. I swear it was white.
into the
No, that actually looks better.
house, we
That looks like a Call of Duty house breach mission now.
oh shit! These meth heads are not playing around. Luckily, neither are we.
Oh, they updated the game? Okay.
One of the challenges of this map is deciphering civilians and suspects. Oh, I haven't even talked about civilians.
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
Civilians are something that is a defining factor between most
White phosphorus is so much better.
other games
Play Spec Ops The Line once.
and Ready or Not. Ground Branch is a great example of a realistic shooter. It's a military game where, similar to Ready or Not, you're sent into missions to deal with terroristic threats. However, aside from Ground Branch's horrendous AI, the big difference between these games is that in Ground Branch, when you see someone, you shoot them immediately.
Okay, chat. Some of you in here seem to be scholars. And whenever I ask about like a piece of media, you find it. There's a game like Ground Branch that came out on the Xbox 360 arcade. Does anyone remember the game? It was like kind of like a Ready or Not thing. You couldn't arrest people, you just killed them. But it was brutal. Like one shot and you were dead. I wish I could give more context. No, it's not Minecraft. It's not Fortnite. It's not Terraria. SWAT 4? Operation Flashpoint? It could be that. It's not SWAT 4. Red Saber. Take down Red Saber.
Take down Red Saber.
I think this was it. Yeah, it was this game. Yeah, that's it. The game is trash, by the way. It sucked. Like, it was actually awful.
Just like in every other shooter game. There's no discretion necessary. Sure, some games
Breach? Oh, yeah, Breach was a game as well. Yeah, it wasn't that one, though.
punish you with friendly fire mechanics, but usually the people you aren't supposed to shoot have bright colored name tags to let you know. Usually.
Funnest Tarkov moment in recorded history. What even shot him? This could actually be the most fun shootout in Tarkov. The streamer nearly shot back. That's what makes it so much fun. I don't actually think I've seen a single clip of Tarkov where someone just isn't shot in the back of the head.
Does kill you?
In Ready or Not, if you shoot, you better be darn sure you're supposed to. If you shoot a civilian, aside from feeling like an idiot, the game will revoke points from your score and make you feel like an idiot.
You're professional. Start acting like it. This is a delicate situation. Entry team stop.
The thing is, I get that TAC starts screaming at you, being like, be professional. But the one thing I didn't like about that is it reminded me of Hitman Absolution. If you remember this game, it was a very weird game. It was like after Blood Money, and they made Hitman really linear. Like really, really linear. It wasn't open like Hitman 2017. Or the more recent ones. But Hitman had a skill point meter there. And what it would do is like, it would deduct points up there whenever you kill people. So it would just usually end up being in the negative. But it's like kind of, I get it, because you're not playing the game like the character would, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to feel like I'm being punished for like having fun. Because, you know, 100%, everyone that plays Ready or Not, they definitely want to boot up a mission, and it's like, yeah, fuck it, let's just kill them all.
Watch it.
But it's not just civilians you need to worry about. Sometimes you'll see someone
It's like when you have police shootouts in GTA, you do it because it's like, I'm kind of bored. But like, you know, there isn't like a constant reminder of like the fat, bold, the fat midget man with the walking stick, or whatever his name is. Hector, and he calls you and he's like, you should stop doing this, you should stop doing this, this is really bad, this is really bad.
with a gun, but if they aren't pointing it at you, you're still able to attempt an arrest, which is a vital aspect of the game. You get more points if you don't have to shoot someone, and sometimes you'll lose points when you shoot someone if you don't need to. Often, if a criminal isn't actively pointing their gun at you, you can still talk them into dropping.
Yeah, Mo Lester. Yeah, Mo Lester.
Talk.
Get on, get on, get on.
If you slip up,
dude, everyone that plays Ready or Not, their F key is probably broken from just spamming that over and over. Get down, get down.
Up and shoot someone you're not supposed to, you'll lose points. If you do pretty much anything you shouldn't, you'll lose points.
If you have fun, you lose points.
Or at the very least, get yelled at by talk. But back to Twisted Nerve. In this particular map, the difference between friend and foe is foggy. Not only does...
Yeah, I remember like trying to S-rank all the levels. And I just remember losing enjoyment of the game because I was like, dude, like this isn't fun anymore. I'm just like trying to S-rank and then one guy won't get stun locked with the beanbag shotgun. This kind of sucks. And I'm out of flashes as well.
Everyone you meet look like a meth addict.
But that's not, I'm not saying the game's bad, by the way. That's just me like trying to autistically min-max as well. Like the problem is when I play games, I try to like I said, 100% them. And it kind of unfortunately does tend to ruin the enjoyment to an extent.
Because they are, but you're also operating in the dark. It's not
so get down,
not as easy to make things out under grainy night vision, which proves to be a difficult challenge. Something interesting that you probably already noticed is the
CS gas is goated. I never used the gas. I only used flashbangs.
State of this map. This
I really shouldn't have said that.
house is beyond the common crack house. In addition to the peeling wallpaper and this weird painting, so creepy.
It's like layers of fear.
In addition to these things, there are insane things going on here. For example, this bathroom. I know what
Skibbity toilet
happened here. What I don't know is how. How does this happen? Also, in
someone skibbidied the toilet.
Unfortunate news, the TV is broken.
And what's that? I own you.
The TV's broken? Just get that guy to fix it. Hang on. Oh no, guys, I'm having a dementia moment. What's his name again? What's his name again that was fixing the TVs? His name was Vor or something. Yeah, Stomedy. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Kino.
Gently, okay? What we're trying to do right now is we're trying to get the connection back. As you can see, the crock is gone, okay?
Crazy. He wipes it with a cloth slightly on the top and it's fixed.
It was just a loose connection.
Actual cinema.
And if you run electronics, it's not gonna come on, okay? So what happened?
It's so genius. I remember reacting to this and it's so obvious what he's done is he just got a PNG of a cracked screen. Like if I look up, hang on, if I look up like cracked TV screen. He literally used the first result on Google. Like he didn't even scroll down a little bit. That is one-to-one the same image. Fucking hell. Just didn't even try. It's so genius. You know that guy's married and he has kids, so he's technically doing better than me.
More creepy artwork, and we've made it upstairs. In one of the rooms, we can find more scary drawings. When will it end? One of the drawings depicts a sort of bug creature, and the other drawings depict a tunnel, with one of them saying to follow the insect. In the same room, we can find shovels, and some wall ramblings saying where drain.
When is Stomedy coming on the To Be Honest podcast? I'd love to get him on. It's all a bit. He's doing a bit. It's like, it's weird. It's like a quarter of a bit. He definitely has some kind of self-awareness, but it's definitely 3/4 of just like, being genuine.
Is dig. Then we can find something that is one of my first signs.
He's definitely trying stuff to see if it would get him views. Also, that TV repair came out 4 years ago. And that's like new Stomedy. I'm racing to the grave. I'm actually racing to the grave.
This game was gonna be great. When I first played Ready or Not, one of my first levels I played was Twisted Nerve. Everything was going fine and dandy until I discovered something very heart-wrenching. Moving into this room, we can find a radio playing a lullaby.
Flashbang the child, do it.
And
flashbang the child, do it.
Near it, a bed with a used needle and
flashbang the child.
A young girl who's having an overdose. This is one of the examples of what makes...
I like how he's setting it up that it's like a really traumatic event, and it is. But like any random game you'd go into, they'd rush in and basically just like beanbag shotgun her head or something.
Ready or Not great, because
Like, I remember, like, I was, like, idle at spawn. And then I look at the screen, it's like, why does it say -50, guys? Who died?
as much as the game holds you to a high standard, there are some things that are out of your control. Because of
I mean, I'll be honest, I did flashbang the baby in the crib in Modern Warfare 2. I'll happily admit that.
how precise
Oh, no, that was the original Modern Warfare.
and ethical Ready or Not's gameplay tries
Well, no, the original remake of Modern Warfare. God, it's so confusing, man.
to be, you feel the inclination to do something here. Except you can't. You can report it, but that's it. You need to continue with your mission.
That's like the best outcome, because most people would just throw a grenade in there.
On the wall in the room, we can find the name of the girl on the bed, Molly. And despite the still crumbling structure of the room, you can tell there was a clear effort to separate this room from the
Literally every 9-year-old, like 5 seconds without a tablet.
others in the house. It's about the only room in the map where we don't need our night
She didn't get Roblox and TikTok autoplay on the top right of the screen.
vision. On the floor in the room, we can find an artwork the girl made
Barney the dinosaur taking heroin. That is, oh. Wow, that's wild, even for a child drawing.
of a dinosaur doing heroin. Hell yeah. On the same floor, we can find a whiteboard detailing profits from the meth operation. And goodness gracious, why
Oh, unlucky name. Oh, her name's Molly. They just named her after a drug. It's like, we would have called her Fent, but, you know, I think it was a bit too on the nose.
am I still doing YouTube? We can also find the motherlode of meth baggies. In an adjacent house, we find the
She's just got a brother called Crack.
ultimate meth setup. Meth cook stations are set up everywhere, and chemicals are piled all over the house. This particular house is covered in a large tarp. In our briefing, we discover the owners of the house left for vacation while the house was being fumigated. For some reason, the family never returned, and the addicts broke in and started squatting. I think we all know what this is a reference to.
Just say we need to cook.
Yeah, I'll be honest, when I saw the fumigation tent outside the house, I was like, Breaking Bad reference.
I'm surprised
Thing that happens in real life, but it was in Breaking Bad, so therefore it's a Breaking Bad reference.
it took me that long to make a Breaking Bad reference. This map ain't done yet, though.
Oh my god, he's stealing my flow. Okay, I love this video so far, but you're stealing my flow a little bit. Young man, we need to sit down and have a talk.
Moving behind the houses, we can find something terrifying. And I bet you're expecting the usual terror.
Breaking Good? Have you seen Breaking Good? Have you actually seen Breaking Good?
Previously on AMC's Breaking Good.
That's 10 years ago, and it actually still kind of holds up. That's crazy. It's like there's loads of memes in there, but then it's also the fact as well, there's like ironic humor in there as well, like 10 years ago. It's not even Arab, it's like Mexican. Like, it's just
Terrifying thing this game has. I bet you're expecting some really
Oh my
sad or
God.
gruesome scene. No, it's
like it's weird with those videos because it's like they're so terribly edited, but they've aged like fine wine. Like some of the jokes, because they're just that terrible, are actually they've retroactively became funny.
actually
It's like how we've ran out of memes and we're just like reverting to like using the troll face ironically now.
terrifying this time. The meth heads
Yeah, that came out 10 years ago. Ugh.
dug a series of underground tunnels, as you could have assumed from the creepy drawings earlier. Going through this section is actually pantaloon poopy territory. While it's never overtly stated what they were digging for, it's implied that the Los Locos gang is the leader of this operation, and that they are fueling the meth addicts in order for them to dig into the Los Sueños sewer system to create a network for their drugs. More infinite wisdom. In the words
It's kind of genius getting crackheads to dig for you as well. You could just be like, oh, there's more crack. There's crack in the walls.
of a very wise man, they really methed up. I think it's a good time to talk about the amazing soundtrack of Ready or Not. The composer, Zach Bauer, did an amazing job of capturing the aura of this game. At moments in the soundtrack, the music will speed up, with fast, heavy drum hits bombarding the track, but at other times, the music will calm to a slow, somber note, a single violin playing or a more
I really like the soundtrack. I just wish there was more of it. I feel there's probably loads and loads of different tracks in the game, but I can only recall like 3.
full tune. This does an amazing job of highlighting the constantly changing atmosphere of Ready or Not. At moments, things will become hectic and violent right before the smoke clears and you witness the people you've killed. I am in love with this soundtrack. Romantically. Okay? Ooh, this shirt looks nice. I wonder if I could...
The data came in.
Well, well, well. Turns out the data we found on hard drives about a week ago from that streamer guy is linked to this place Brixley Talent Time.
Why did someone say skip? Why do you think it's an ad read? I did get a bit of paranoia that it'd be an ad read.
Doc 2 entry team. Suspects have taken refuge.
Yeah, no, I thought it was an ad read as well. Like the sixth sense kicked in, the shining.
The area and are refusing to cooperate.
This is why, like, I've wrote in my scripts now that whenever I do an ad read, I never say but first. Because I gotta trick you guys, you know?
There's something remarkable about the
Bro said shirt. Oh yeah, no, I immediately thought it was a merch shill as well, right?
environmental storytelling of Ready or Not. Many times, the game doesn't outright state something, but instead chooses to heavily imply it through many context clues. In this level, there are many instances of aspects of the environment painting a dark picture. Outside Brixley Talent Time, we can find a very run-down area. That's nothing new, but among the trash we can find protest posters against Senator Fremont because of his veteran funding cut bill. Tents are scattered around the area, serving as a reminder of the poverty Los Sueños is facing, and this is clearly a very poverty-stricken area. Outside of the
Or is he just pointing while being shot at, just doing the soy point?
building, we can see that the place used to be a safe injection clinic. A safe injection clinic being a place used for drug addicts to safely inject their drugs.
Yeah, they opened up one of these in Scotland, I think a couple years ago, pretty recently. Hang on. Oh, is it still not done yet? Oh no, it's still in production. Yeah, they're basically making a facility, so it's like, yeah, you can shoot up in here. Because it's like, you know, there's huge drug problems in Scotland because they literally have like nothing to do. Apart from, I don't know, walk out in the rain and, you know, there's just nothing to do. So there's like a huge drug problem there. But yeah, they're making these facilities where like a nurse watches you shoot up because it's like, well, we want to help you quit, but if you go cold turkey, you're that in deep, you're probably going to die or do something really drastic to get the money for more drugs. So we'll just let you do it here and it's safe and it's monitored. If you have like a seizure, we'll be able to help you and stuff. I think it's a really good initiative. It's sad that it even has to exist, but that's good, I think. Could you imagine how fucked it'd be? Like if they shoot up, they just get arrested immediately. We have a witness, the nurse that saw you do it. Could you imagine? Just defeats the whole point, like no one shows up.
Which is insane. On the wall, we can see photos of...
It's a glorified crack house. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's good. It is good. It helps them get the support they need because they probably get... I'm hoping they get some kind of aftercare as well, where it's like, you know... Because most people that do drugs, they do it because they got a problem, right?
kids taped up.
Or they're trying to like escape something or suppress something.
Interestingly, these are the same photos that can be found in the streamer's computer in 23 megabytes per second. There are outfits on mannequins that don't exactly fit in a setting involving kids. Something clearly twisted is going on here. There's a newspaper we can find that calls back to the killed manager in the first level.
Why is the newspaper? Why is the newspaper the fish? Is that a reference? That's literally the same fish. It's like the low quality fish on the floor. And they used that for a newspaper. That's crazy. That could be the darkest twist in this entire game.
Then there's this terrifying drawing of a star. Even the literal writing on the walls. Here we see the words, "Think of the money." Could this place be in...
The sunfish? Yeah, the sunfish is a meme. I don't believe it's a real animal. Look at this thing. It actually just looks like if you asked a child to draw a fish. You know, like those like Doom sprites and stuff, when they turn to the side, they just disappear. Like that's what a sunfish looks like. And then, like, animals just eat them. And they're just like, oh, no, I guess, oh, that's okay. Fine. It's okay. Yeah, I will never understand a sunfish. Giant sunfish, catch and cook, living from the... I mean, you didn't catch it. It basically swam up to you like it wanted to die. Don't act like you did any work, buddy.
Enticing parents to solicit their children with large sums of money? Yeah, that's exactly
Like, if you could, like, have depression as a physical animal, it would be a sunfish.
what's happening. It's not very subtle, but that's almost more
I remember catching one in Animal Crossing, and I was like, ah, that's not real.
scary. Things have gotten so bad in Los Sueños that criminals are hardly covering up their tracks. Crime here feels like a drop in the bucket of shady stuff, and
They're terrible to eat, basically the slug of the sea. That's it. They're actually a trollfish. Like, they want to be killed, and then you eat them and they taste like shit. That's hilarious.
and frankly, it is. No matter
Wait, hang on. Let me see this, actually. What does sunfish taste like? Slightly sweet flavor. Why don't we eat sunfish? The level of toxins in their bodies vary. Known for their heavy parasite loads. I mean, all fish have parasites, though. Like, when you eat fish, you're eating parasites. All fish have parasites. The only reason why it's not dangerous is because the fish are frozen to kill the parasites. Like, whenever you get, like, sushi or, like, sashimi, like, you are eating parasites. But it's not dangerous. If they do it properly.
no matter how bad the game gets, it always gets worse. Upon looking closer at things, we start to see even more grim aspects of this story. Looking closer at this computer, we can see an unnerving conversation between
I saw this TikTok of, like, this Korean woman. She was like, why don't we normalize people just regularly taking anti-parasitics? Because you probably got so many parasites in you. And I was like, that's a great thought. Thank you.
the computer's owner and a mysterious figure by the initials AV. Brixley's talent time was intentionally placed in a poor region of Los Sueños in order to prey upon it. Parents would bring their children to the talent agency, hoping to have their child make it big so they can earn money, only to then be enticed by George Brixley with large sums of...
Notice, this is why you die 99% of the time in this game, by the way. Notice the frames before he got a lock on him. Notice. I will die on this hill. If you get one tap by someone going around a corner, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. That's a frame, by the way, bro. He's not even ready in the gun. He's already ADSing.
George Brixley with large sums of cash
And then he just got shot anyway.
into soliciting their children, or even potentially selling them. Which makes one of your potential first encounters with George Brixley
That's why you always lose in these fights, man. You just gotta hope the AI's bugging out.
a little more satisfying. Well, I have bad news. There was a shooting at the McCade station and, well, one of our officers didn't make it. Officer Lunk, you will be... Anyways, we have a probable location on the perpetrator of this tragic event. His name
I respect the GoldenEye music.
is Gerard Scott. He lit a car on fire outside the McCade station and waited until
Someone said it's a truth nuke. No, it literally is.
police officers
Why do you think the game is like, you need squads in it? Because they made it unfairly difficult.
went to investigate
It's not realistic. It's just unfairly difficult. Bro, readied in a frame. Like,
before opening
that wasn't even a quick draw.
fire on them. He fled the scene in an RV, and a witness report of the license plate led us to this place called Sullivan's Slope. Scott Gerard is a ghost. The only thing we know about him is that he used to work for the USIA, which is an in-game stand-in for the CIA. Other than that, we know just about nothing. If only Lunk were here.
I like how game companies always use like fake names and stuff. Instead of like, you know, the FBI and GTA, it's FIB. Get it? Because they're telling fibs. Ho-ho! GTA writers, every time they make like a satirical joke, they're like, yeah, you did good. You did good. More pay rise for me. Meanwhile, let me crunch the workers some more.
Here, I could use some of his advice right about now.
I'm smelling something fishy here.
It's time to raid this place. Moving toward the house, we can immediately see that this place is messy. Talk radio's in and informs us of traps in the area. I hate these levels.
One of the jokes of all time. I don't know. Like, I feel GTA's writing is like, what if le thing is le bad? Like, everything is just kind of like satirical.
Basically, with these...
Like, it's interesting to look at it, but like when everything is satirical, it's kind of like, I mean, I made this argument before, right? It's like every GTA, every Rockstar protagonist is just all the same. They're all the same. They're all wrote the same. It's like kind of snarky character that always has one-liners and stuff. Like, dude, you got Arthur Morgan, Jimmy Hopkins, Nico Bellic. Like, they're all wrote the exact fucking same. Like, not their backstories and that, just the way that they talk to people. It's always like bits and one-liners. Now, the only benefit is like, when they have a serious moment, it hits like 3 times as hard because they're usually known as like kind of the funny guy that always knows what to say kind of thing.
These sorts of situations, it's vital that we mirror under every single door we open. Otherwise...
Stay on me.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, by the way. Like, it's a good archetype for a character, but still, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, again, Rockstar writers, when they realized they did parody. Ooh.
In Ready or Not, the layout of
Who's Pyro is AI? I am AI.
the maps isn't always convenient. There's blind spots and dangerous turns that can't simply be avoided. I think that
I've not been a good man, sister. Yeah, that literally only hit so hard because the entire game he was like, I would not like to see what you were doing in the Navy, Mr. Pearson.
it's best highlighted in this level. This level is designed to be a pain to move through. This is done on purpose, but we'll talk more about that later. Moving through the first floor, we can see all sorts of interesting things.
And then John the entire time is just going like, Dutch, Dutch. I got a meme to show you, Dutch.
One of them being Gerard's production of
Thank you, Adam, for the 10.
ricin. Ricin is a chemical poison found in castor beans. You might remember them from Breaking
Jesse.
Beans.
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 Gerard loves this stuff. Outside of the house, we can find tons of castor bean plants. We can find this table full of bottles, which apparently Gerard intended to use as an aerosol weapon. He never got to finish his research, though. Also, this whiteboard is maybe the funniest thing in the entire game. It's
Ricin effects on small life. It's not even human. He just wrote fed.
perfect, and I need it. It starts to become clear that this level is extremely lore-heavy. We can see Gerard's ramblings all over the wall, similarly to back in Twisted Nerve with the meth addicts. Except this time, it seems to be different. This time, instead of
Yeah, this level, the map design is really cool. And the only thing that sucks is like you can beat it in like 30 seconds and there's no variation.
meaningless
It's like the door could be trapped or it isn't. And that's basically everything in the level. Because isn't it like 2 or 3 guys in the entire level?
blabber,
And the last guy always spawns in the same place, I believe.
here it's clear that Gerard is very intelligent. In addition to his clear ability to engineer things, such as the ricin or the aerosol devices, we can see equations and formulas written among the conspiratorial ramblings.
Among Us.
In these ramblings, we get bits and pieces of conspiracy theories such as mass populational surveillance, eyeball slime injection, and the mind control of police/federal agents by a secretive and satanic organization within the upper levels of the government. Weird. We can find a wall diagram detailing a SWAT officer.
Why did they give the SWAT guy eyelashes that zesty? Very weak. Grenades. Rifles will not break their chest. Cripple them. Aim for their limbs. Camera, radio, bulletproof mask.
Weak points.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The only good face gear in the entire game is the bulletproof mask. Genuinely. Unless you have to have night vision.
Highlighting how it's important to shoot at the limbs because everywhere else is armored. No wonder these guys are so good. There's only 3 suspects in the whole cabin, but they are deadly.
Everyone has eyelashes. What, you've got eyelashes like that? You've got eyelashes that are like a good 10 centimeters long?
Especially because of the map design. See, Gerard made this cabin the way it is in order to specifically screw with a SWAT team. There's little openings in the wall that the suspects can get through, but we can't because of our gear. There's patterns and things scattered about in a darkly lit room to mess with our target identification. And
Yeah, no, you can't beat the ballistic face mask, though. It just stops you being one-tapped.
when caught in fire,
You can have both MVS and bulletproof mask. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, because, what are the other options? Anti-flash goggles? Oh. You can also just flash and wait half a second after it explodes.
there's not much
Just throw it around a corner like everyone else does.
cover
Because if you're throwing it into a room you're going into, you're dead anyway.
to go behind. Across the cabin, we can find a series of audio tapes that Gerard made. Most of them only make sense when looking at the larger picture, but for now, I want to bring some of his
Checking for bums. Coward gameplay. Just open the door.
insane ramblings to light. Keep in mind here, the player character, Judge Beaumont.
He tries the door and he has to lockpick it anyway it's over.
Judge will come here. You'll have to. It has to be him. I've seen his training, his methods. I know what kind of man he is. Part of the cycle, just like me. In a never-ending game. I'll show him when he gets here. Show him that he's the same puppet as me. Trapped in the same
Notice how the second shot he didn't even flinch. Notice that. I'm actually amazed the beanbag did that. I'm amazed. He didn't even have to use 2 mags.
Oh no. Apparently, Gerard intended to bring
Maybe the guy just feels bad for him and wants to give him the S rank. It's like, yeah, fuck it. All right, go on.
us here. He only
You've tried 20 times before getting footage for this video.
attacked the McCade station in order to bring a SWAT team to his home, specifically D Platoon. the team that Judge leads.
It was all a setup.
What in the world? Forget it. We were brought here because Gerard wanted to teach us some sort of truth, even mentioning that Judge is part of the same cycle Gerard is.
You know, I would consider no other perpetrator than Yamalo.
They just turn it into an analog horror.
Throughout the game so far, we've come across many different story pieces regarding a budget cut the state senator made against veteran funding. Well, this brilliant decision sparked outrage among veterans, as it should. But after extensive protesting with nothing changing, a group of veterans calling themselves the Left Behind rose up with a mission: to assassinate Senator Fremont.
Left Behind? Oh. That's a rough name. You could 100% tell they were going to be called like Left 4 Behind, but they were like, no. We're not being back for blood on this one.
These men are well armed. They have rifles, body armors, and my favorite thing, more traps. The apartment building is absolutely trashed. In one of the rooms, we can find a news broadcast where we can hear the Left Behind's manifesto. One of the hostages that the Left Behind took is a man named Laurie Bauer, a successful music producer. We can also find some of his fan mail. It never ceases to amaze me just how in-depth
What's the game? Among Us.
The level design of Ready or Not is. Void went to extensive lengths to ensure that every single level had some
Holy crap, they're really copying the Utopia thumbnail there. What are you doing?
History behind it. This whole apartment had things going on before the attack, and we can find those things. In one apartment belonging to a Navy officer, we can find all sorts of stuff detailing his past in the Navy. Medals, a portrait, and even a picture of him shaking hands with Reagan. And in his bathroom, written on the mirror, we find the message,
"Don't be a stranger. Love is an adjoining door away."
Okay. In the adjoining door, we
What voice was that? Was that TTS? What was that?
can find a note.
Oh, Captain. My dear Captain, when can I see you again? I had a lovely time, my darling. Don't mind my husband. He is as soft as they come.
What is going on here? We find another note directed at the Navy officer.
Listen here, sailor boy. Don't ever let me catch you around my wife again. If you even glance at her, I'm gonna make sure you regret it. You'll meet your Navy friend sooner than you think, scum.
It's like if you asked a dementia patient to recall the Navy SEALs copy pasta and he just got every detail wrong.
Oh boy, this is riveting.
In the woman's apartment, we find that she and her husband Eric are going through it. She has crossed out his face in almost all of the pictures on the wall. We can also find a sniper setup from the Left Behind or whatever, but who cares about that? We're uncovering a love story. The woman, Barb, has condemned her husband to the couch, where he now spends his lonely nights. I also find it so sad that not only does he have to sleep on the couch, but he has to sleep on a curved couch. Other than that, though, there isn't a ton going on here, but it's our first look at almost being able to sympathize with the suspects. Their cause is understandable. Funding cuts for veterans is a very immoral thing. These men went through hell for the country only to have the country turn its back on them. Their anger is justified.
If Ready or Not was set in the UK, they'd probably have like a level with the bin men in Birmingham when they take hostages because they were underpaid as well.
But they went into innocent people's apartments and took them hostage. They killed many civilians who we can hear them label as just collateral. Their cause is understandable, but their means is where they went wrong. Alright, remember that streamer guy from a while ago? Well, not only did he lead us to Brixley Talent Time, where we found unbelievable things, but he also led us to the Mindjot Data Center. This place was revealed to be likely housing illegal photographs of minors. Now, Mindjot has had some unfortunate events recently. They've been the victims of multiple robberies, some of them involving suspects posing as police. One of the security staff even ended up dying in one of these robberies. Because of this, the security has been greatly improved. They have armor and rifles, and they are very volatile. Mindjot is cutting major corners. They are losing a ton of money, and as a result, they are undergoing major renovation, selling their old, expensive servers and hardware in favor of cheaper hardware from Asia. A piece of evidence from the map reads, a painted, high-density storage unit used at the Mindjot Facility Data Center. It features a strange, hand-painted set of initials with an accompanying sticky note that outlines its potential contents. Note reads, at request of the user, propagate multiple backups to MJ.
What game is this? Among Us.
Cloud servers, and to physical storage. Requires approximately 250 terabyte drive. Content of this storage unit set includes a multitude of encrypted images. Tread sensitively. 250 terabytes? Of what? Well, we don't know, but I have a pretty good idea. The next level is something
250 terabytes. Okay, that shit's actually scary.
A lot different from what we've seen so far in the game. So far, we've witnessed many troubling things.
Jared Fogel's drive.
It's born out of greed, violence, or plain evil.
It's actually crazy, though. The only reason... Isn't it crazy with Jared Fogel? The only reason he got caught is because he did it with another guy, and the guy was arrested, and he ratted him out. That's it. Like, if that didn't happen, if Jared was working solo, he might not have even been caught today. Like, that's wild to me.
Innocent people murdered over money, young children taken advantage of, the crippling effects of drugs even being used on kids. But it's our next level, Ends of the Earth, that gives us our first reason to really feel bad for the suspects, and it's our first mission that I think the non-lethal options are the most fitting for.
Isn't Jared out of jail now? No. No, he's still in for like a good 20 years, I think, or something.
The Earth is a mission that takes place on Kauai Beach. 3 boys are suspected of manufacturing illegal automatic firearms and selling them.
What did Jared do? I thought he just ate sandwiches. There was a bit more. There was a couple more things that happened after that.
The mother, Hugh Nhin,
there was a certain FBI house raid.
Has stage 4 lung cancer and is unable to keep
250 terabytes of card points. I don't know why they called it card points, man. What a terrible name, because the acronym as well, that's terrible. It's like how, well, okay, this is an example that is nowhere near as bad, but in Dead Rising, you get prestige points, and it's called PP. So it's like, oh, I need to get my PP level up. Like, it's just...
keep paying the bills for the medical treatment. As a result, the eldest brother, An, is a mechanical engineer who began manufacturing these weapons, and having the younger brother sell them as a way to pay for the treatments. They are being supplied with the parts to create these weapons from a car dealership in North Hills, but we'll talk more about that later. In one of the boys' rooms, we can find a computer monitor with a website brought up on it that contains a description of an autoseer. An autoseer being a part you can use to modify a semi-automatic rifle into a fully automatic one. In the other room, you can...
Oh, that's definitely inspired by the Vegas shooter then, right?
Find a set of poker chip, along with a blackjack strategy sheet.
Because he used like a bump stock or something to make it full auto.
It becomes clear that the boys have been laundering their money through the casino, using their casino earnings as a way to justify to the IRS what money they've been earning through their illegal arms trade. This is further displayed through a letter that can be found from the IRS detailing discrepancies in their income. In the mother's room, things only get more depressing. Her entire room has been made to accommodate her being bedridden due to her cancer, and in the bathroom, inside the shower, is a chair she can use to sit down while she showers. I've said it before, but the level of detail in this game is astonishing. In the attic, we can find a series of 3D printers along with all the components the boys are using to modify the weapons. This is one of the most unique levels in Ready or Not, because it makes you feel genuinely bad for the suspects. In the other levels, there's some quality the suspects have that makes them villains, but here, these kids aren't evil. They're just in a terrible position, and it's times like these where we can be grateful
4 shots, by the way,
that there's non-lethal options in the game, because killing these guys doesn't feel right. But put that beanbag shotgun away. It's time to get your real rifle and move down to the Los Sueños Postal Service. Our next mission, Greased Palms, takes place after 2 detectives got in a firefight.
Dude, I love using the revolver in Ready or Not, even though it's absolute trash.
Fight with members of the Los Locos gang.
It's so cool to use, though, even though it sucks.
Ready or Not has some of the best gameplay mechanics in any shooter game ever. Take, for example, the armor system. There are 3 main types of armor in Ready or Not: the anti-stab vest, light armor, and heavy armor. The only advantage to the anti-stab vest being that you can carry more equipment. Light armor and heavy armor both have 3 options for the plates.
Honestly, steel, full coverage. You do that every single time. You are built like one of the Combine from Half-Life. It's great. I had a mod for Ready or Not that was really cool that turned like all the agents in the game into Combine. They look like Combine from Half-Life Alyx. And then they also had the TAC radio lines were replaced with like Combine Overwatch voice. It was such a sick mod. It was really cool. Hang on. It's not that one. That's just civil protection, I think. Oh, no, it was that one. It was that one, yeah. Yeah, you could basically have it. Yeah, there was an overhaul audio as well. Like, it was so sick. Gonna be any audio for this at all, though? Or... I think there was a mod that's just a voice changer, but I think there was a mod that actually replaced the voice lines with like unique ones, and it was sick.
Kevlar and steel. Kevlar is useless. Steel absorbs less
Show your mods. It's like the one game where you can't have the mods that you're thinking of because it just make the hitbox too big.
Damage but doesn't break, while ceramic absorbs all damage but is able to break after heavy gunfire. Heavy armor works the same way except with more armor coverage and the option to cover front and back, or full. But the details run deeper than that. Contrast to other games where
honestly, you should always go heaviest armor possible. You should always pick the heaviest option. But if you're like a sweat, then go for like the stab vest. Because it's really obvious when you're picking less armor, you just want to beat your speed running. It's really obvious.
Where armor
or you're just trying to challenge yourself.
Hitboxes work in places the armor doesn't cover. The armor only applies to where the plates themselves would be.
It wouldn't affect the hitbox though, would it? I assume it'd just be a skin swap. Why are we debating this, man? Why are we debating this on stream? Look, if you know any mods though, link me.
There's also a spalling mechanic. Spalling takes place.
Stealth over weight? There isn't a stealth element in the game. There isn't. Once one guy knows that you're there in a big room, everyone knows that you're there. You shout at them like, you know, get down. Like everyone in the room is going to know.
Place when shrapnel bounces off of steel plates when being hit with bullets. In Ready or Not, when being hit while wearing steel plates, the plates will spall and cause splash damage to yourself and others. Even beyond the armor, there are so many little details in this game. For example, non-lethal options have the potential to be very lethal. Beanbag shotguns are non-lethal when hitting a suspect's body, however, if you hit them in the face, they'll die. Pepper spray works well, but sometimes suspects will start
I've never used pepper spray. I just thought it was a massive bit and I never committed to it.
Aimlessly shooting towards you.
Because by the point that you can even use it without being shot, you've basically already got them subdued.
While covering their face. Tasers
Pyro wants the heaviest armor. Fork found in kitchen.
sometimes don't deploy, and sometimes they don't even work when they make contact, similar to real life. One of my favorite things to see in video games are realistic shotgun
Bread found in bakery.
Mechanics. In most games, shotgun BBs turn into styrofoam after traveling 5 feet. Of course, this is not a very accurate display of how shotguns work. In Ready or Not, the ranges on shotguns are greatly increased, even more so when using slugs. Rifle calibers have a massive impact on gameplay, but that would take forever to explain, so I just won't. And then there's the commands. Oh boy. I already discussed the options for breaching doors, but there are so many commands in the game. One of my favorites is that you can actually...
What is that gun he's using? I've never seen that gun before. It's like a Glock with... Dude, it looks like that... Like, hang on. It looks like Chris's pistol. Look how many attachments are on that thing. Chris be walking around with the... It's got like a bump stock on it. Red dot. I mean, that actually, you can tell what gun that is. That's like the front looks like a Glock, and then it's just like, what in the cyberpunk has he done with that thing?
Actually order someone who has surrendered to move towards you, or to a specific location so that you don't have to go to a compromising area to make the arrest. This works especially well when dealing with suspects that have the potential to make a fake surrender and attack you when you aren't looking, which is something they can do. Which is insane.
Defended himself, lost the S rank. Very fair game.
You can order your team members to go to specific areas. If you have them stack up on a door and you don't like the order, you can tell them to switch. There are a lot of commands in the game, but it would take way too long to cover them, so let's just...
That's crazy though. W, man. Appreciate that.
Our next level is absolutely insane. One that genuinely changed my outlook on the game as a whole, and features one of the most twisted implications I've ever seen in a game. This level is Valley of the Dolls.
I like the edits he does, like for the mid-transition montages. They're really good.
So far, in this particular storyline, we raided the streamer's home and found illegal photographs of minors in it. This led us to a talent agency and a data storage company, which then led us to a man by the name of Amos Vol. This man has been hinted at on both The Spider, with his initials appearing on a conversation, and Sinuous Trail, where it's implied...
Wait, what? Wait. Bro, why does he look like Ethan Winters? He looks like Ethan Winters with the glasses. Oh, no. Oh, that's rough. That's rough, bro. That's rough. Dude, what has he been doing on the side? That's crazy. No wonder Capcom, like, shut his ass down. No more games.
And sinuous trail where it's implied that he was dealing with hundreds of terabytes of encrypted photos. This man is a very successful adult film producer, but given his connection to the illegal materials found in other places, it seems he's been making some illegal films too. It just so happens to be his daughter's birthday on the day of our raid, but time is sensitive here. If we don't act fast enough, it's likely that a lot of evidence will be destroyed, so we have to crash the party. Unlike most other levels in Ready or Not, Valley of the Dolls takes place in a very wealthy region of Los Sueños. Things in the Vol house are spick and span. There's no trash heaps, no broken furniture. It's very well put together, and it's a great highlight that crime in Los Sueños isn't limited to struggling people. Vol's mansion just so happens to be guarded by Bolton Security, a private security company that is very lethal. The first floor of the house contains a letter emphasizing that the first floor is for adults only. Moving through the first floor, we discover why. Both Amos and his wife Daniela are adult film actors, and spread across the house are all sorts of prizes and trophies and such from
Bro gave himself an Oscar for shooting porn, by the way. It's crazy.
their career, which are gross. There's this room, which is gross, and interestingly, we can find a mannequin with the same
Wait,
weird...
what's up with it?
There's this room...
Oh, the bed! Oh, the bed!
Which is gross, and interestingly, we can find...
Left it on the TV remote as well, come on.
A mannequin with the same weird outfit that we found in Brixley Talent Time. We can also find this odd object in a glass display.
He actually put his Johnny inside a display cabinet.
Ugh. In the bathroom, we can find some hard drives that are soaking in the tub. Weird. In the daughter's room, we can find all
Yeah, it's okay, you can retrieve it, just leave it in rice for an hour.
sorts of environmental stuff. She's got a green thumb. We can also see on her laptop that she's selling a brand new G-Wagon, with the promise to send all the money earned to charity. This G-Wagon is the same one she just received for her birthday, so clearly she loves the gift. We can also find a poster for Sorry, I meant Live Rat, so that's neat. Outside of her room, we can find the office of Amos Vol, where evidence is burning. Outside, we can find a wooden frame holding pictures of feet, as part of the Sell Feet contest.
Okay, that is 100% a Dan Schneider reference. There's no way. There's no way around that. That's 100% a Dan Schneider reference. If you guys didn't know, Dan Schneider was like a producer at Nickelodeon, and he would just always try to include like all the kids' actors' like feet at random points of the show. Yeah. Someone literally said in chat.
Where participants of the party, who, by the way, are likely
There was a whole documentary made about it as well, I think. Like, exposing Nickelodeon. They talk about Dan Schneider.
Age, would take pictures of their feet to be judged by Amos. Which is, you guessed it, insane. But we've cleared the above ground, so our next logical step is to go downstairs into the basement.
What could be worse than feet? Hopefully there's not dead kids in the barrels.
Now, we've covered some disturbing topics in this video, but the contents of this basement is something completely different. Something twisted. Something that never fails to make my stomach turn, and whatever you think it is, it's probably worse. Shelves of containers, hundreds of names, and ages. Young ages. A kid's bed, along with decorations for young children, are found.
Oh, is it the same? Wait, what did it say? Molly 12?
Ages. A kid's bed, along with
It wouldn't be the same kid though, right?
decorations for young children are found. Candy bars are strewn across the room, and recording equipment is decorations for young children are found. Candy bars
Gold
are
medal.
strewn across
Gold medal. They literally made a chocolate bar based off the award meme. Posted it again, award.
the room,
Fell for it again, award.
and recording equipment is set up facing the bed. More red light bleeds out of a dark room that's developing hundreds of explicit photographs of minors. In this room, we find a large collage of photos, creating the portraits of two young girls with disturbing text strewn all around them. But that's not the end. Moving into the final room, we can find a torn up
I like how it said virgin behind the fucking picture, by the way.
foundation full of barrels.
Fucking hell.
Concrete bags and a cement mixer can be seen, and children's clothes are scattered across the room. Looking closer at the barrels, we can see flies swarming them. And it's not hard to realize what happened here. The implication is stomach churning. After seeing this, you'll likely react like any reasonable person would.
Yeah, I do like if you kill him, by the way, you still lose points. Like, just let me have fun one time, man. Also, Monka hairline. Holy transplant. Look at that. Thank God I'm streaming in 2K because, oh my God, that hairline. Holy.
But we aren't done here. This game still has a ton to offer, including our next mission, which just keeps the wagon going with...
That's in the game? Yeah, it's literally like an Epstein mansion kind of thing. And they're shooting videos with kids and stuff like that, and then they kill them and put them in barrels afterwards. And it's like, you have to arrest the guy, you can't kill him. Like, if you kill him, you get negative points, which is kind of genius. I think what they should have done is like... I think what they should have done is like maybe add it so like you don't lose points, but you just don't gain any if you shoot him kind of thing. But yeah, I get it. It's a cup game. You know, everyone's innocent until proven guilty kind of thing. Court of law.
Terrible.
But again, it's just like, okay, we literally have the evidence, little bro. Like, it's right here.
Things. The map Elephant is one that I never thought would really be released. Upon hearing rumblings of its development, I didn't believe it, because while this game has gone to some...
Oh yeah, didn't they have a school shooting level, and then they... Didn't they remove it?
Some dark places, this map would be a very controversial one. But with the nature of the game, the idea of this map was pretty obvious. In this map, we're sent to deal with an active...
I've never played this level, by the way. I remember them talking about the school shooting level. I imagine they just removed all the kids, right?
...shooting at the Watt Community College. Moving toward the building, we can already hear gunfire from within. Upon entering, we can find a security officer who's been wounded. Bullet divots are painted across the architecture, and a blood trail can be seen on the hallway floor. Oh good, I may have had to fire, but he still has a chance to live. Throughout the level, if you don't act fast enough, you can hear gunshots in the distance and civilians can die. This is our first level where everything we've learned about tactics and safety go out the window. There isn't time to mirror under doors, think about strategy,
It was going to be a grade school, and then they changed it to a college. Ah, I see.
Or meander along carefully. Time is of the essence here, and if we don't act...
You're going to play Atomfall? When is it out?
Fast enough, there are real consequences. Sometimes you'll hear a student yell for help, but upon moving that way, you can discover that it in fact was not a civilian, but instead one of the shooters. On the evidence...
Oh, that's really smart, like baiting you out. I've never actually seen that happen in the game. Like, people will hide a gun in their back pocket or something, but like I've never seen them like try and bait you.
This level, we can find horrific writing on the outside of an evidence box implying that whoever was logging the evidence had a son who died in the shooting. Inside the classroom, we can find one of the most horrific scenes in the game. The entire classroom is covered in gunshots. Blood is everywhere, along with the bodies of students. On the desk, we can find a bomb, which will need to be defused. The map also has overt references to the 2003 movie by the same name, Elephant, in which two boys shoot up a high school. The references to this movie are clear. Watt Community College is an obvious reference to the high school in the movie, which is named Watt High School.
Wait, Elephant's a film? Hang on. That's not right. Is it that film or is it? Oh, it is the same film. Oh, it's got a 7 on IMDb. That's not bad. There's so many films just with the word elephant in it, like you can't even tell. Yeah, I'm guessing that's meant to be Columbine. Oh yeah, Eric and Dylan, yeah. Okay, it literally is Columbine.
The shooters in the map also wear similar attire to the ones in the...
Elephant has a really awful fan base, just a bunch of weirdo 14-year-olds. I didn't even know a 2003 film had a fan base.
Movie. The naming here is very...
I remember iDubbbz did a video years ago. I don't know whether it's still up on his channel. But he was talking about how, like, you get weirdos and stuff in communities. Like people that are doing fan cam edits of like Eric and Ryan. No, Eric and Dylan. That shot up Columbine.
Interesting and has a deep history behind it. The movie was named Elephant as an
elephant reference. Echo 2K.
Homage to the 1989 film by the same name. The director of the 2003 movie believed that the 1989 film was named that way as a reference to the pair.
Is your favorite movie Shallow? I've never heard of that film. I've never heard of this film. Triangle is a good film, though. I enjoyed that film. I think it's really good. You couldn't rewatch it, I don't think, but it's like the twist in it is pretty good. I think that was a good film.
Parable of the Blind Man and the Elephant, which goes as follows. A group of blind men heard that a strange animal, called an elephant, had been brought to town, but none of them were aware of its shape and form. Out of curiosity, they said, "We must inspect and know it by touch, of which we are capable." So they sought it out, and when they found it, they groped about it. The first person whose hand landed on the trunk said, "This being..."
Shallow Hal. Okay. Anyways.
Being is like a thick snake. For another one whose hand reached its ear, it seemed like a kind of fan. As for another person whose hand was upon its leg said, "The elephant is a pillar, like a tree trunk." The blind man who placed his hand upon its side said the elephant is a wall. Another who felt its tail described it as a rope. The last felt its tusk, stating the elephant is that which is hard, smooth, and like a spear. The parable is meant to demonstrate how different people can believe what they perceive to be absolutely true, despite their limited experience, and how they can immediately disregard others' experience simply because it's different. The director of the 2003 film used this interpretation to highlight the different viewpoints of everyone involved with the shooting, including not only the victims, but the shooters as well, showing in specific how the same exact hands that are able to create such an atrocity are also able to produce masterpieces. Unfortunately for Van Sant, the director of the 2003 film, the name of the 1989 film was...
It's over, black screen. Take down the entire video, re-upload.
...not in reference to this parable. Instead, it's a reference to the saying "elephant in the room," which was to display the denials of underlying social problems in Northern Ireland.
What the fuck have I done?
At the time.
Wait, what's this? I've opened the Opera GX... Okay,
I think Ready or Not's naming of this level has much more value than a simple reference. I believe both interpretations of the name work well in the context of Ready or Not.
I'm still amazed that the elephant even has a fan base, like someone pointed out in chat earlier. But, yeah. Yeah, I guess this fan base is for anything, right?
The parable interpretation is much more...
Viewbot EXE? Oh yeah, no. Joseph Anderson didn't raid me, guys. I was like that woman earlier. I just pulled up like a Viewbot program.
Significant. It's the entire thesis of this video, and I'll...
Where is that again? Actually, we got a lot of people on Twitch that are new, so I'll pull it up again. That fucking Viewbot.
Ophelia.
You can see, like, when her eyes move in sheer panic when she realizes that she's using a Viewbot. Well, she got banned for 20 views, botted, by the way.
It would be really cool if they made a game like this, but instead of being part of SWAT team freeing hostages, you were competitive eater whose job is to eat real quick, but the more you eat, the bigger you get. That would really cool and funny, I think, lol.
Haha, wouldn't that be so funny, guys? Haha, haha. Yeah, being banned over 20 viewers is crazy. I don't even know like how they can get botted in the first place without Twitch picking it up.
I'll cover it at the end, but for now, let's...
Clara, I'm so mad. No, it's her friend Clara. We all know this friend Clara that like uses hacks on PCs and stuff, man.
Focus on the phrase interpretation. This map as a whole is the elephant in the room, from a meta perspective and an in-game one. Given the theming of Ready or Not, a school shooting level is an obvious idea. Of course, it's an unbelievably bold move, and a very controversial one. And I believe...
Clara! Okay. Do we pull up the video? I feel like I'm doing a lot of side quests here. It literally auto-fills to CSGO as well.
Stop shooting me! So we got an air.
Yeah.
Oh no!
None of it set in. I think she realized because someone called her out in chat, right?
Oh, stupid!
Where is it? Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the realization. That's when someone in chat was like, what the fuck, using hacks?
Do you guys ever get that that weird glitch in CSGO where it shows your rank, that it shows everyone's rank? Because my game, I played the other day. I played the other day with Rock, and he got that, and now I have it. I don't know why.
It's not even funny. I'm just getting secondhand embarrassment so much.
Wait, what the fuck?
Clara.
Clara.
Clara, come over here, Clara. Are you using fucking aimbot again on my PC?
Clara.
Disgusting.
Let me just message this girl. Give me one second. Why the fuck is this on?
She makes up a name and runs with it. Oh, this Clara girl.
On my computer right now.
Oh, it's so bad. Like with the girl that was viewbotting, it's like, oh, this is really embarrassing. But with her, like, she keeps digging the grave. It's so embarrassing.
Where is this?
Well, you've had the glitch before where you see everyone's player model as a skeleton view and you also lock onto their head. Yeah, it's pretty common, actually. I'm happy you guys have it as well. I get it a lot in games. It's after I installed this program called Cheat Engine for some reason.
Close this. Yo, Rock, I need some help because I don't know what I'm looking at right now. What the fuck is that?
The worst thing is, I guarantee you no one had any idea who this streamer was at all. Guaranteed. And this made her famous. That'd be horrible. Just being famous over like something like that.
Hello?
You can feel the burning in the throat for her lying through her skin. Apparently people's faces heat up when they're lying. They're using, because, you know, apparently, like, little kids, like toddlers and that, they lie the most. You lie the most when you're a child, you know, because, like, just, you know, there's no concept of, like, morality as much as when you're an adult and, like, repercussions. But they're now developing technology to, like, tell when people are lying. And it's, like, heat scans on your face, which is actually pretty scary shit.
I need to text my friend Clara right now. She was at my house earlier today.
She wasn't, bro.
Actual fuck.
What the fuck? My friend, like, just gave me a PC? And it had hacks on it? What the hell? Clara?
Yo, Rock, do you remember when fucking...
I imagine as well whoever she's talking to there just also doesn't exist. Like, these are not real people.
Clara got the fucking backband. I'm gonna kill this.
I like the whole dog dibba-dab there in the corner doing a little dab as well. Just the icing on the cake.
Literally gonna kill her. She promised me she didn't use it on my PC. I'm fucking done. She was here today and I was watching her. Why the fuck? Why the fuck? Okay. I need to abandon this.
I'll be honest, I reckon this kind of went under the radar. Someone on Reddit definitely shared this around, and they're probably patting themselves on the back thinking, I made this girl go viral.
Fuck this girl. Seriously. Abandon.
Oh yeah. Oh, she gave me cheats. I'm gonna leave the game because, like, no, I don't abide by those disgusting cheats.
All people. I just realized that in my own fucking...
Yeah, she must have thought that when she was, thank you, Zari. Zerul for the Prime. Appreciate it. Oh no, that was a month. That wasn't even Prime, so you actually paid more shit. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Can replay.
Yeah, I'm dual streaming, by the way, but I'm reading Twitch chat and YouTube chat as well.
Oh my god, I'm gonna just...
Okay, it's cringe. I don't care.
I believe the name Elephant in part is in reference to this. This map is Void's Elephant in the Room, but there's also the lore implication.
It was my friend. They jumped on my computer when I was away. You know that there's like a kid on Fortnite that got caught looking at porn and his mum walks in and he used basically the same excuse. He was like, there was a virus on my computer and I deleted the computer virus. Have you seen that? He's like, Mom, there was a virus on my PC and I deleted the virus. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. There was a virus on my... There's always a virus. Oh, is it only... Yeah, this is it.
I was searching around the internet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, listen.
No, I was searching around the... Mom, I was searching around the internet, and all of a sudden, I was downloading this thing, and I got a computer virus.
I want to see it. Show me what you were downloading.
I randomly... I deleted...
Doesn't he say his pants slipped at one point as well? Just like a lie on top of a lie. To be fair, when I was a kid, I would probably make the same lie as well.
The virus! Oh my god, Mom. I had a computer...
It's so genius though. Like when you're a kid and you lie, you really think you're like a, 10 charisma mastermind, but like you just seem like you're coping.
Virus, and I got scared that I had the virus.
Thank you, Drew for the Prime.
My pants were slipping, and I was pulling them up and getting back
My pants were slipping while deleting the virus.
on the chair.
It must have actually sounded like a god tier excuse in his head as well, because he's like 12 or something.
I got scared, and my pants slipped down a little, and I was pulling them up. Mom, I'm telling the truth. I am serious. I'm serious.
Oh, agony.
common mental state in Los Sueños, as well as our own world, is on a constant
It's not New Vegas. He tries to do the speech check and it's 100 pass and he's got like 2 to speech.
decline. In the game, 36% of the residents in Los Sueños are diagnosed with a form of mental health problem, which isn't a far cry from the real 23% in our own world. Mental illness is a rising
Birdie,
problem
for
in our
the
society,
resub.
so from the bottom of my heart,
2 months.
if you need help, seek it out. On that somber note, it's time for some...
How does someone get that footage anyway? It's usually family members and stuff. Like, does anyone remember that meme of like the 2 girls that are singing and the Scottish woman walks in and says like, you know, like, who didn't flush the toilet after they had a shit? Like, I remember in the description, they basically said it was sent to like a family member and they found it so funny that they basically like uploaded the footage. Which is crazy, by the way. Like, I hope he got permission.
fun. Our amazing friends at FISA and BorderTAC have joined us in a mission to stop...
Yeah. Oh, it didn't flush the toilet after they had a shit. Well, it was fucking one of yous. Disgusting.
Exfiltration of bad
Like, could you imagine that Scottish people are real? That's crazy.
guys across the border through an underground...
Like, they hate us so much, they're rent-free about British people, so they literally change the way that they speak to separate from us more, because they can't legally separate.
Tunnel. I guess those meth heads really did know what they were doing. If we look up, we can see the BorderTAC drone, which is cool. We deal with some goobers on the surface, and then... Holy... This joint...
This video, it's been in my recommended loads, but I haven't clicked on it. Yeah, long-form videos are mega shielded by YouTube, which is nice. I think what they do is, like, my schizo theory is, like, they unfairly bump it in the algorithm because it's like, okay, it's longer. Because I got told by a YouTube rep, they don't... Long-form videos, they don't promote them a lot initially because they're scared of, like, scaring people off the platform because they want to basically... Dude, if they could, YouTube, they put, like, the Matrix jack in the back of your neck and they just keep you watching all day. So what they do over time, I think, is like they promote it more and more over time. It slowly kind of snowballs and builds up.
Is insane. It's like the tunnels from Twisted Nerve.
That's why, like, my videos, like, if I do a slop video, it'll do really well and then it'll die. It'll just die immediately. But with, like, the long-form game reviews, they sometimes still might get, like, a couple 100,000 views, like, even after it's died off. What's Homestuck? I genuinely don't know anything about it apart from like a Tumblr thing.
But if they had 10 times the meth heads digging.
What are you doing?
Tucker!
Digging.
We search around for a while, get a little lost, and then end up in... Wait.
Oh, this just looks like Resident Evil. What the hell?
Hold on. Oh no! Oh, wrong game. We find a massive thrown together barge, and this is...
Massive, you say? Massive? You know what meme is massive? Low taper fade.
Sweet. This is so cool. The Los Locos gang uses an underground river system to...
Nice floating body in the wrong position, by the way.
Travel across the border...
Look at that floating guy there.
The Los Sueños. It's genius. In the evidence for this level, we can find a cell phone conversation that goes as follows.
LSPD tracking distribution. Go to Metro Mass Tunnel with what you have now. Bring cash for the trip. 150K from the safe.
Okay, driving.
Go straight to...
I've had your Cruelty Squad video also play every single day. Oh, yeah, could you open up one of those like Chinese bot farms for me? Just have it open on like 20 different phones? Please. I might give you $5 for it. Thank you, Warm Milk, for the Prime.
Water. Don't look if you hear children crying. No children in tunnel.
What? It's also stated that the LSPD looked for a child and did not find one. So that's not terrifying or anything. Sure makes you wonder what those creepy eyes in the distance are. Weird. Remember the Left Behind? The group of...
The Clement Hotel? Oh shit, that actually reminds me. Okay, let me take a piss, because there's actually a side quest I want to go on.
Of terroristic veterans? Well, they're back, and once again in a hotel. They have Senator Fremont's family held hostage, because they hate that guy. On a computer in one of the rooms, we can find this conversation.
Johnny, where are you? I haven't seen you in a week. You aren't responding to me.
In Mexico.
What the hell do you mean, in Mexico?
Stuff went down not long ago. Won't be back.
But what about us? But what about us?
Stuff happens.
I'm not sure what it is, but for some reason both levels with the Left Behind are not only in hotels, but they also include riveting love stories. Albeit this one is kind of the opposite of a love story. But enough of that. It's time for something terrifying. And I know I say it a lot, the most terrifying, blah blah blah. But this is something different. This is genuine horror. The atmosphere in this level shines, and in combination with Ready or Not's...
Alright, look, I know it's an hour-long video and I walked away for 20 seconds. I'm sure the subreddit is going to absolutely cancel me, but I do want to... Yeah, this hotel here, the Clement Hotel, did you guys know that in the UK, there was... someone that was going to do like a school shooting and massacre like 30 kids. And he said that it was all caused by Clementine from The Walking Dead. This is recent, by the way. Like, well, I think it was last year, but it's only being talked about now on trial and stuff. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. This shit is like really scary, man. If I look up Clementine, The Walking Dead, I bet you it'll come up. Yeah, so he murdered his family, and then he was gonna go to a school and kill a bunch of kids. And I'm not joking you, I think he killed like his family because his sister or something made like bad choices when playing the game. Yeah, UK teen murdered his family and planned school shooting after being chosen by Walking Dead's Clementine. Nicholas Prosper has now been... he'd just been sentenced. That's why it's in this cycle again. Sentenced to 49 years in prison for his crimes, he will not be eligible for parole until at least 2074. He gunned down his mother and sister and stabbed his younger brother to death at his home in Luton. 19-year-old appeared in Crown Court for sentencing, and he had planned this for several months and desired to slaughter school children. Yeah, it's really scary stuff. Basically, he was someone that's obviously really mentally ill, like deeply mentally ill. And he was like inspired by The Walking Dead, Clementine, saying like Clementine was talking to him and stuff. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do like any bits over this. Like this is just actually fucked, like genuinely. He did I saw on TikTok, because of course I fucking did, there was like a manifesto that he talked about, and he was talking about Clementine. But yeah, like, it is absolutely wild. Let me get his name. Nicholas Prosper. Only 18 as well, man. That's mental.
This is his bedroom he had produced.
I don't want news yapper. I want to see the actual video of him talking about it. But yeah, it's like scary shit, man. Like, he was actually going to go to a school and kill a bunch of kids. But thankfully, they stopped him. Apparently, he didn't even stand up in court as well. Like, they told him to stand up, and he just didn't. He was like, nah, I'm good.
Nicholas Prosper, you are 19 years old. On the 24th of February 2025, you pleaded guilty to purchasing a firearm without a firearm certificate. On the
Yeah, someone handed him a gun, by the way, the CCTV of it. Like, how the fuck do you even do that?
12th of September.
Like, I think Birmingham is like the gun capital of Europe, I think, but this was in London.
2024. The murders of your mother, Juliana Falcon.
The manifesto's on Reddit. Fucking Reddit moment, man. It's like, use a VPN on Reddit, and it's like, you've been stopped by network security, and it's like the Reddit guy's wearing a fedora. It actually just writes itself, right? Let me do it on Chrome. I think I'm logged into Plebit there. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah. All right.
On June 30th, my sister decided to make the only correct choices in episode 1 of season 1 of The Walking Dead games, and for that her face will be mutilated further than necessary. I also...
Like, did you hear that, by the way? He literally said that he only did it because, like, his sister made, like, a bad choice in The Walking Dead.
Also recall a video by Living Echoes on YouTube. Best of Lee and Clementine, Definitive Edition. It was a compilation. And he decided to kill Larry in front of Clementine. And then I later learned he decided to kill the St. John's in front of Clementine. I am the chosen one, chosen by Clementine. I am guided, as Christians are guided by Jesus Christ. And there will be no more killings of Larrys in front of Clementine, no more killings of St. John's in front of Clementine. And overall, Clementine's content will be preserved, maximised. That's the message I want to give out.
Yeah, like you can obviously tell he's like not mentally well at all, but it's still like it's still insane to me. Because his plan was to basically kill his family, go to a school, kill a bunch of kids, and then kill himself. But it's yeah, it's just crazy story, literally.
Stellar soundtrack, a terrifying, beautiful level is born. The harsh, cold architecture only serves to build a horrifying atmosphere. Then we find what was meant to be the kill room. A camera shines on a series of chairs with ropes.
Thank you, Liam, for the 1,000 bits. The Left Behind. Gotta get to the roof of the Clement Hotel in Evac.
We were meant to be executed. We could find a phone conversation between a man and
Thank
a
you for the
woman
bits, man. I
discussing
appreciate
when
it.
We'll see each other again. The conversation was cut short, however, by the attack. But how did this happen? After the first incident where the senator was almost assassinated, how did the Left Behind get to the family again? Well, as it turns out, the Left Behind were placed right in front of them. The very same Secret Service team that was guarding the Fremonts contained members that happened to be sympathetic to the Left Behind, causing this catastrophe. And that concept is terrifying.
Wait, 1,000 bits is $20, but you only get 10? Don't say it like that. Like, he's gonna feel...
Imagine the very people sent to protect you being the same people that want to hurt you. It's bone-chilling.
This call is being recorded. What is your emergency? Hello?
Oh, the club level is Kino. It's so good. I love the club level. I mean, okay, saying that after a club shooting does not sound very good taste, but still, like the level itself is really well designed. I'm not giving you more, I'm broke. Yeah, fair enough, mate. I appreciate it.
A terrorist group based in Yemen calling themselves The Hand has begun a massacre at a neon nightclub in response to American airstrikes to shelters in northern Yemen. Upon entering the club, we... Oh, come on. I gotta do it.
Hold.
No way. No way. No way. He's got the John Wick pistol. He will get one-tapped, yeah.
What a shame.
Like, playing that game without armor and only using a sidearm is like playing Tarkov. That's the only way I can explain it.
Him, I guess.
And everyone in that club, every terrorist, is like a 2-viewer Twitch streamer that's just camping.
Outside the nightclub, we can already see the carnage these guys left. As it turns out, the nightclub stretched their maximum capacity so that more people could party here tonight, which only means more bodies. Also, apparently the Hand live-streamed the massacre, meaning the entire
He literally said live streams and I made a live stream joke.
public is already made aware of what happened here tonight, meaning plenty of people are calling their relatives who they know might be at the club. Remember in the first level where I mentioned that Ready or Not loves to use the cell phone calls as a plot element? Well, here you go. Across the map, you can find all sorts of buzzing phones. It's a haunting sight, but...
Do they have Try It Out by Skrillex playing? Do you know how in poor taste that would be? Do you know how, like, in poor taste that would be? Like, they played that in Black Ops 2.
How do you know my...
I'm Mike Harper, a Navy SEAL. We're on our way.
Wait, where's the bit? Where's the bit? I can't even play much of it, man. Oh, where's the bit with the bar, though? It's Kino. I gotta play that. I gotta play that. I do love YouTube's... I do love music copyright, man. It's great. Yeah, you'd, like, jump up at the bar. And then you shoot. Oh, it was cinema. It was so good. I'd love to show more, man. Like, that alone probably got the whole stream claimed. Great system, YouTube.
But even more haunting is what you hear upon shutting the music off.
That's actually a good touch. Like, you can turn the music off. And it's like, it makes the mission easier because you get, like, better audio. But at the same time, makes everything, like, set in.
Remember back in Ends of the Earth where I mentioned that the suspects were receiving parts to manufacture illegal firearms from a car dealership? Well, this is it. Outside, we find a couple trucks with mysterious spider
React harder. You can go watch our show Speed. He's probably done another backflip today.
symbols painted on the side. I sure wonder if we'll see any more of that later. Heading inside the dealership, we can find a room with paper shreds spilling out of it.
Spoliation, that's what it's called, and it's a felony.
After peacefully entering, we can find piles of shredded paper. Among them, dozens of intact papers detailing descriptions of women, including things like contract period and country.
I never get why people shred documents. I never understand that. I have seen so many police videos where they can just put the documents back together. It takes days, but they don't care. Like burning, I think burning documents is different, but shredding makes no sense to me. Like you can definitely put all of that back together if you give them time.
Of origin, along with computers deleting files labeled girls' IDs.
Spoliation.
Which is insane.
Well, shredding it is to make it easier to bin, like in a normal legal sense. But I'm talking about like criminal shredding documents.
Especially considering we came here looking for illegal firearms, which is something we can find an abundance of in a separate
eco round, Tech 9, eco round.
Building, along with heaps of money and drugs. In the second floor of the building, we can find an undercover officer who's been executed. Next to him, a whiteboard detailing millions in profit from selling drugs, weapons, and what they refer to
19 million. That's like one kick sponsor. That's crazy.
As bitches, along with the details on transportation of such things, including the detail to drug bitches before transport. Transport where?
Dude, meth is worth nothing against coke. Why didn't Walter White make coke instead? What the hell?
From where? Clearly there is a lot more going on.
Look at that. Like the meth weighs more and it's like barely anywhere near like 10% of the profit.
Here. Clearly, this operation doesn't all come back to this weird car dealership. Other than that, there's not a lot to talk about here. But we finally get back to the fun stuff once again. Enjoy it while it lasts. Our next mission, Carriers of the Vine, is one of my favorite thematically. Imagine, for a moment, a conglomerate amalgamation of Ready or Not, Far Cry 5, and, optionally, a Benelli M4. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you...
Meth's more addictive. Aren't all drugs pretty equally addictive, depending on who you give them to? It's like the UK has a huge coke problem. I keep seeing so many videos of people being like, oh, I go to the pub for 2 pints and then I want to do a bag. And it's like, no, you're just tired, mate, because alcohol's a depressant. You don't need coke immediately after.
You Carriers of the Vine. Carried from Crisis LLC is a place for women who...
I mean, coke isn't an opioid. So I guess it is just like a UK cope.
Who have been given no other option but to step away from their former lives in an effort to save them.
Meth is more mass appealing, I think. Rich people do coke, poors do meth. Saying meth is more appealing is crazy.
Selves from misery.
That sure sounds healthy, and not at all like a creepy cult compound filled with disturbing artwork and art.
Also, the whole thing about coke being a rich people drug, that's a cope. Especially in the UK, that's a massive cope.
Architecture.
It's probably more than weed, but like...
Well, I'll be damned.
Apparently, there's weird rumors of this place, and I can see why. One of the station's officers was shot and killed on the path to the farm.
You know more people that have done meth than coke? What country are you from, though? If you say America... denied. If you say the UK, I kneel.
Moving through the house, we can find my favorite thing, conspiratorial ramblings. There's some
You don't know what country you're from? Good question. Okay.
Drawings of men. One of
what, did this come to you in a dream or something? Like
them being Dennis Noble, who apparently got a woman drunk at a bar before beating her and assaulting her in his truck, which is insane. He also has a fetish for
South London is bad for coke. Mate, all of London's bad for coke.
Heels, apparently. So that's cool. We also have a drawing of Big Dick Rick.
Fetish for heels. I know half a chat is just gonna like instantly start defending this guy now.
Apparently, he frequents the Neon nightclub. Probably not anymore, though. The paper then details all of his wrongdoings before saying to make sure not to let him bleed out too quickly after taking what he values most.
I wonder what that could be.
We can also find a picture of a man named Aaron Shepard, who has allegedly murdered someone and also frequents Caesar's car dealership. He must be a big car guy, right? Behind the main building area is a creepy pathway through the forest, leading to one final building. Inside, we can find a weird wooden statue, which is kinda on par for this
This is
map,
literally
along
Far
with a
Cry
room full of
5.
shackles and more creepy
This is actually Far Cry 5.
Imagery.
You got the whole Sneed cult there.
Imagery. Which is where things become clear, if they weren't already. I mean, it's pretty obvious. This group, which consists of women who've been sexually assaulted, go to this farm to live away from the world so that they can't be assaulted anymore. In this farm, they make plans to kidnap sexual predators and bring them here to be tortured. So, like, they aren't so bad, especially when you read about all the pedophiles they kill. Their biggest blunder was when they were caught kidnapping a man, which led the police to their farm. The leader of this cult, Elaine Raskin, is a former USIA agent. Similar. In the evidence locker, we can find a paper consisting of a conversation between Raskin and someone.
I had no idea the story was this complex, by the way. That's crazy. Like how they try to write some of these people as like, some of them are just evil, but then some of them are like, not as evil.
Named Agent Brody. They are discussing something called the...
Someone in chat said they can fix them.
Next up in our adventure through hell is the mission Relapse. It takes place at the Coastal Grove Medical Center where the Hand, the terrorist group from Yemen, have taken over a hospital in an attempt to rescue their leader who was placed under supervision there after the club incident. Moving into the hospital, we can see that it's had...
I'm half expecting this to end with an analog horror, I'm being honest.
Better days. This place has been wrecked and it only gets worse from here. In one of the rooms, we can find a retirement party for one of the doctors. However, unfortunately, he can be found dead nearby. One of the scariest parts of this level is going to apprehend a civilian who is a member of the hospital staff.
He's gonna go for a
only
gun,
to find
no!
out they aren't. There's also 2 bombs on this map, and if you don't act fast enough, they'll explode and kill everyone. Which isn't fun. This entire map is a bloodbath, similar to Neon Nightclub.
The hospital map, I think, is like one of my favorite maps. I still like the crack house. I think that's my favorite map, honestly, just because it's like, it's small, but it's not super small.
These terrorists did not discriminate.
Put the vape down. It's like a little spinny thing. It's not a vape.
I think the level building for this map was made to be a lot darker than most other levels. There are blood and bullet casings everywhere among a trashed environment, and to make it even worse, the hospital is overcrowded and understaffed. Los Sueños is in a miserable state, and I think this map perfectly highlights that. The saddest part is, that's it for this mission. There's nothing else to say. There's no crazy conspiracy or interesting theory here. It was an act of vengeful violence.
It's a
killing
vape.
People who...
It's a vape? Okay. Alright. Now, I know a lot of you vape. Alright, I get it. How is this a vape? It's literally a spare... It's a spare holder for my microphone. Notice how you can see through it, by the way. Notice that. You people are demented.
Who had nothing to do with the problem.
Look, man, if you guys want to quit, it's fine. Just don't put it on me. Pipe down vapor.
Throughout the entirety of Ready or Not, some of the darkest moments in the game existed out of implication. Without overtly showing anything, the game has told some... But now, in our final mission of the main campaign, it's time to tackle Port Hoken in the mission...
Ah, this will be the
Hide and Seek.
container. This will be the container thing.
Our raid on Caesar's car dealership led us here, Port Hoken, suspected of harboring an illegal arms trade. SWAT, working with FISA and the ATF, is sent in with the goal of locating and stopping a massive trade going on tonight. Moving through the map, we can find multiple shipping containers marked with a familiar logo, the Spider, the same one we saw on trucks back at Caesar's car dealership, and presumably connected to Brixley Talent Time through the naming, the Spider. Unexpectedly, we not only find a container with guns, but also a container housing drugs. Clearly, there's more going on here than we expected.
Dude, that would be so much loot if you were playing Payday 2.
Then, we find another spider-marked container. And inside is the most horrific thing I've ever seen in a game. Naked, starving, delirious women fill the container, with nothing to eat except dog food. But we weren't expecting this, and we need to get these women to safety, so we'll radio in for help.
Talk. We have a container full of women. We need Thames down here right now.
Copy that. Entry team. EMTs and trailers are...
This is FISA. Stand down and shut that door, entry team. We're sending a unit to secure the container and its contents.
What? We're not leaving them like this.
Close the doors. Unless you want to interfere with a federal investigation, I suggest you shut the door and lock it behind you. Do your job and proceed with your mission. Understood?
Understood. Put the other guy back on. We'll talk later.
No, we won't be. FISA out.
You're gonna keep those women in that container and you're gonna let them starve. Unless you want to interfere with a federal investigation. Yeah, I saw this clip all over TikTok, man. Like, there were so many people just reposting it. I think it had like 1 million likes or something. What are FISA even meant to be? No, they're not FBI. They're like NSA or something.
For the first time, we hear Judge get angry. We hear him argue, but with nothing else to do, we continue with our mission. Moving through the warehouse, we deal with some enemies, and then make our way into the back, where we find something...
Guys? I think we're the bad guys.
...that somehow manages to make what we just saw even worse. One final spider container is found. Inside, we find random mannequins strewn about, red light and barbed wire spilling across the walls. A room full of more mannequins can be found. This is an auction room. A wall full of photos labeled "Today's Menu" sits in the back. And looking up, we finally find it.
Dude,
this level is our first time really...
This looks like something from like Layers of Fear, or like Bioshock.
...seeing the...
Remember going through like Sander Cohen's bit? No, not Sander Cohen. Steiner's bit in Bioshock. The surgeon is like obsessed with like making people like perfect. And he'd have like all these mannequins and stuff everywhere.
Evil. Throughout the game, we've seen the remnants of evil. The barrels in the Vol house implied something twisted, however, we never really saw it. Opening that shipping container is the first time we first-hand witnessed what was going on, and it happened in a way we didn't expect.
I like that opening you did, because that looks really cool, and also he still gets to monetize the video.
Expected to find something scary in the Vol house. We knew why we were going in there, but here, we were looking for guns. This was completely out of left field, and that makes it even more scary, and for the first time, we weren't able to save them. We had to lock the door behind us. The entire game has been spent saving people. We are held to a high standard. If they're civilians, they better make it out, but here, we have to do something that goes against everything we've been taught leading up to this. Generally, horror games can be easily dismissed. A spooky, fictional monster is just that, fictional. But when playing Ready or Not, the monsters are real. People like Amos Vol really are out there. Organizations like the Spider really exist. The game is painfully realistic, even down to the gameplay. When you die, there's no reset button. There isn't even a game over screen. You get the same screen you always would. A scoreboard. While you obviously need to live past a level, the game embraces an interesting idea here. Your life in the game doesn't matter. You're not the center of the universe.
You're not him.
You die, and the situation still exists. Your actions are still highlighted before you because you don't get off easy just for dying. The environment is made to exist before you arrive and keeps existing after. This game is brutal and makes you understand that. As you start to witness the officers around you quit, you watch as their mental state deteriorates from what they're witnessing. Every time you die, and every time another officer dies, the people who lived are left scarred. The officer who died is dead. The civilian you shot is dead. It doesn't matter what you do. Your score is affected by your actions. The contents of the shipping container was the most jarring thing I've ever witnessed in a game, and I was expecting it.
Yeah, I like that mechanic they have as well in the campaign. When you die, it's permadeath. They had the same thing in Rainbow Six on the PS1. It's like, hang on, let me see. Rainbow Six PS1. See if I can find it. Yeah, so they had like loads and loads of characters in the game. And whenever you died, they were basically removed from the game entirely. So you had to pick another character. I'm not sure if the stats were different. I'm not actually sure. The only thing I remember in the game is like, if you run out of characters and they all die, you're just replaced with like a generic person with a gas mask. Yeah, that game was good, but it was fucking hard.
too. I had the misfortune of the contents of this container being spoiled for me. Although I never really saw what was in it, I knew what was in it, and somehow opening those doors still managed to shock me. Knowing about it is one thing, but seeing...
Pyro, don't let your ego get inflated just because your channel got bigger and your money stacks got fatter. Anyway, you streaming on Twitch? That's huge. What's this bit? What's this bit? Are you in a group chat organizing this?
It is a whole other. It's the entire reason this game is important. It gives us the chance to really see the horrors of our world. Of course, it's all fictional, but the themes and concepts are very real, with many of the levels being based on real events. The parable of the blind man and the elephants serves to highlight how different perspectives matter, which is a large theme in the entirety of Ready or Not. This game shows us a perspective to our world that we rarely see. Where normally, we learn of tragic events through the news, Ready or Not places us directly in the event. It offers us the perspective of the first responders. It's easy to say, oh, that person shouldn't have done that, but that kind of perspective is only one small interpretation of the much larger elephant. You can't simply touch the tusk of an elephant and label the entire animal as a solid stone.
Have you seen Rainbow Six Patriots? Yeah, that looked really cool. And then they canned the entire game.
Ready or Not gives us a different perspective. Not only do we get to feel the tusk of the beast, but the body as well. I've heard people criticize the game, saying it's disrespectful to victims of these sorts of crimes, and to that, I couldn't disagree more. Ready or Not sheds light on these atrocities, and offers the chance to better sympathize with the victims. There's more to this game, a lot more, but currently we're led to dead ends. Only time will tell where this story brings us. Things like the USIA connections with brainwashing, things like the Mariposa Lily Order. All things that I will discuss in a future video. For now though, hold tight and know that there is much more to this game than covered in this video. Throughout the game, it's easy to feel like you're really making a difference. Like your actions in SWAT are single-handedly fixing Los Sueños.
Imagine if they set it up so if you got S rank, you actually get the good ending. Yeah, just go through every map, spam flashes and the beanbag shotgun.
After finishing Valley of the Dolls on S rank, you'll receive a unique tattoo. Maybe you finally brought justice to true evil within the city, once and for all.
I mean, you are a cop in LA, so probably not.
But let's be honest.
Like, it's so obviously meant to be LA. Yeah, that was peak. That was really peak. I enjoyed that. Is he doing an outro montage? Yeah, that was really good. What's the channel? It is Pyrocynical. Kale the Leaf. Yeah, he does really good videos. I definitely recommend checking him out. That is unless he copyright strikes the stream, then don't check him out. But no, he does really good videos. Definitely. And his bit is Pyrocynical is my #1 op. Yeah, I actually enjoyed that video. That was really good.